Hey guys, Joey Matterhorn here. I was asked to give a history of the online income industry. So the history of it, I'll make super quick. In the 1990s, obviously the internet was quote unquote invented or unleashed, supposedly by Al Gore, simply because it was told that the military was able to communicate in online ways for years, somehow back to the 50s. But they enabled it for the average person to be able to do sometime in 1993 or 94, sometime around then. I remember chat rooms were huge. People were chatting back and forth. Email was created, and there was a way to actually send people messages through email, which we all know now is very common. But if you remember, Yahoo was charging $19.95 a month to be able to have an email account. Hotmail came out with a free version. 12 million people signed up for Hotmail on day one, and eventually all the different companies, AOL, Yahoo, had to get rid of the cost. Gmail didn't come around to the late 2000s. Of course, now it's the most popular email domain, but we'll talk about that later. The first ways that people made money online was through email marketing, because you could send messages with really no rules or regulation. It wasn't until 2003 when the Can Spam Act came out that we were able to actually have basic rules and regulations of email marketing, which still exist to this day. But email marketing was the original way that people made most of their money online. Well, then when sites like Google came out, there was ways to run ads on Google, but those were meant for people with big budgets, big brands, and having big staffs, because you had a learning curve to figure out how to make money on Google. Then the theory of the destination website came out. Brands that were so big that you could actually run ads on those websites. For example, Google. It was a simple way to do it. Social media didn't really start until the late 2000s. We all think that we know that MySpace was the first social media site, but we're not 100% sure. We did know, though, that they made $675 million in ad revenue on MySpace, and that's what caught my attention, going, oh my gosh, social media is the place to be. Then popped up Facebook. Then all different kinds of sites followed. Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest. YouTube was invented in 2005, I believe, bought by Google in 2006. And here's the summarizing lesson I'm about to talk to you about the history of online income. Before 2010, if you had to make money online, you either had to be an email marketer, or you had to know how to create a website or overpay to have one developed, and then have all the different income streams on your website. Most important, how are you going to get people there? There wasn't enough traffic sources. The internet was not a place for the average person to make an online income. There's a lot of people making money, but a lot of them, because they were charging people like you courses to actually learn how to do it, which were so advanced and they were set up to be advanced, so you couldn't become successful. So you paid $2,000 for a course and you'd learn stuff, but it was so advanced you actually never were able to use it and make money. Amazon opened up for people to actually have their stores within Amazon. Facebook actually had newsfeed ads. I'll never forget, I was playing poker in 2013 in Wyoming, Michigan at a bowling alley. I remember that moment very vividly. If you know anything about poker, you try to listen to music or have something distract you so you don't play bad hands, because it's pretty boring playing for hours and hours and hours of getting dealt bad hands, so you try to find something to fill up your time. So I'm watching a course by Amy Porterfield. She goes, guys, revolutionary. Facebook is allowing ads in the news feed. Before that, they were on the right-hand side, and they were horrible. They were very unresponsive, and you couldn't even run ads on a mobile phone because it wasn't mobile responsive. But when they launched it in 2013, Facebook revenue went through the roof, but I remember very vividly, as soon as she said that, I closed my laptop, I folded my hand, I went and turned in my chips, and I went home and I started running Facebook ads in the newsfeed, and we started printing money. And because back then the ads on the newsfeed were so new, you could combine getting organic traffic from Facebook. My whole program had over 700,000 followers. When I did a post, I'd have 1,000 signups. Over time, the newsfeed became so valuable for Facebook that they charged people money to be there. That's what is called newsfeed ads. And newsfeed ads work fantastic still to this day. So the history of the internet, in my opinion, is before 2010 and after 2010. Before 2010, it was very hard for the average person to make money online. But after 2010, between social media, YouTube, and video channels, now TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter, all these different sites, not only can you actually post on those sites, but you can talk to other people and find out what they're doing, which didn't actually exist before then. As much as people bitch and complain about social media, just like anything else in life, there's balance. There's good and bad. The good, I can connect with other entrepreneurs that I couldn't connect with or ever even know who they were before that. The bad, we got a lot of dipshits that say mean things to each other and create a lot of hate in our society, and that's just unfortunate. But for as much bad as it's done significantly better things. We just notice the bad. So before 2010, difficult. After 2010, unbelievable. Better than that, it's going to do nothing but get better. In the old school days, cold calling was a thing. And we all know Millennials don't answer their damn phone. So phone sales and communicating with people through phones will eventually probably go away. I'm 52 years old and I employ a lot of younger kids. I call them kids, they're under 30. I have an employee named Cody who actually helps with the Joey Matterhorn brand, who actually told me, he goes, when I see someone call me, that's my time. I don't answer the phone. I go, what about if it's your mom? He goes, especially if it's my mom. I absolutely don't answer the phone. I'll call her back when I have free time, but I'll most likely text her or see her at the next family gathering. And I thought, holy crap, the young generation sure is different. But guess what? They're more heading to that direction than the other direction. So texting, phone apps, email, communication with your customers is going to be all electronic. Voice things are going away, and AI is proving that. There is no tonality in an AI voice. It literally is just words. So you're going to have to learn to communicate and profit in this new society. The history of the online industry, just like any industry, started out slow, horrible, was the wild, wild west. And since 2010, we've had such a revolutionary way, an exponential way to make money. I just wish there was more time in the day for people like myself. So long story short, the history of the online industry was what it was, but is becoming something that everybody should take advantage of. If you have a business and you don't have an online presence, if you don't have an online presence for your business, and something happens again like COVID, then you could be out of business for the rest of your life, like a lot of people were in 2020 when they lost their business because they said, we don't need an online presence. We get foot traffic. You have to plan for the unplannable, which is hard but necessary. And when you learn in the future. Your offline business needs an online presence, period, end of story, and so does everyone else's.